Your paycheck shrinks, bills don't. And that's exactly what I'm living through right now. And in this video, I'm going to show you my emergency plan that I'm using and 10 side hustle ideas that can help you create income fast. Hello ladies, it's Dion again on Dee-Lightful Wealth Creation, and if you've been following my journey, you know that I am working on debt freedom, becoming financially stable. But along the way, life has thrown me some interesting curveballs. Recently, my nursing job started canceling shifts, so my income has dropped, and I had to dip into my emergency fund to keep things going. And while that's exactly what an emergency fund is for, it made me realize how quickly things can change. It also showed me how vulnerable you are when you rely on just one stream of income. And as professionals, I'm a healthcare professional, a lot of times we feel we can depend on that one income because it's usually a pretty good income, or we'll just work an extra shift, some overtime, and we feel pretty stable. But this has taught me a lesson and really opened my eyes to see that things can change pretty quickly. So today I'm sharing my emergency plan, the exact steps I'm taking to stay afloat, and 10 side hustle ideas to help women over 45 add some extra income streams during these tough times. So here's how I'm handling the sudden income drop that I'm experiencing. I'm pausing big expenses. I put on hold any extra spending, things like travel. I traveled recently. If you follow my channel, I traveled recently to Jamaica, and I'm considering relocating there. So working on that, but with all of these different changes, that's kind of on hold just for the moment. I've also made some changes with shopping and any projects that aren't absolutely necessary. When money is tight, you protect your essentials first. I'm protecting my savings and my portfolio. So yes, I use my emergency fund, and that's what it's for these types of emergencies. But I'm being careful not to drain my retirement savings or investments unless absolutely necessary. Dipping into those too soon can set you back for years. And I've shared in previous videos, I've always talked about the mistakes that I have made, like the financial mistakes that I've made. And one of them was using my 401k a few years ago to pay off debt, and I ended up back in debt again. What a waste. And I've lost all those years of that money that I had saved. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to dip into any of my investments, any of my retirement fund, because that sets you back for many years. The other thing is I'm exploring side hustles. Now, I've already had success selling on Facebook Marketplace. I've shared that in other videos where I made $300 in one day. And that really gave me the confidence to look into other income ideas that I can do online. So I'll be sharing that as I explore. And once I have success, whether I have success or not, I will definitely share it with you. The other thing I'm doing is I'm staying calm, hopeful, and definitely prayerful. Honestly, this part is the hardest. I felt discouraged and even depressed for a while. That's one of the reasons why you didn't see me on YouTube, just trying to get my mind together. And I had to really pray. I'm a praying woman, but I had to do even more prayer and reading and just reset my mindset and remind myself setbacks are not the end. This is just part of the journey. Now let's talk about 10 practical ways you can make some extra money fast, especially if you're over 45 and you need something simple and doable. Rent out a room in your home. Platforms like Airbnb or even finding a long-term renter can bring in steady income. And like I've shared over and over, I'm a nurse and I did travel nursing. And there's a platform called Furnished Finder. I am not compensated by Furnished Finder, Airbnb, or any platform that I mention on this channel. I just want to share what works and what can help you. So I use Furnish Finder to find places to rent, which would be near the hospital where I went to go and work, where I had the contract. So if there's hospitals near you, look into Furnish Finder if you want to rent out a room in your home, or if you've converted a garage into a little studio apartment. I'm telling you, healthcare workers will rent from you if you are near the hospital or near a highway that is not far from the hospital. And healthcare workers are really great tenants to have because they have a contract that is usually between 8 and 13 weeks long, and usually they are extended. So you can have a long-term contract with somebody, a long-term tenant, which will be definitely reliable. And they're hardly home. They're working 12-hour shifts. They always work overtime. They're great tenants to have. You can rent a car on Turo. So if you have an extra car or a car that you don't use daily, you can rent it out for passive income on Turo. And I've shared before that my brother lives in Europe. He comes to America a lot. He stays with us when he has to come here to take care of some business. And when he comes, he stays a good 2 to 3 months at a time. And he uses the exact same person on Turo. He likes their service. He likes the vehicle. He uses the same vehicle every time he comes. And they know that they're guaranteed a renter for 2 to 3 months. So you may want to consider that. You can sell at a flea market or in community events like different pop-up events. You can gather items from your home that you are no longer using and that are in good condition, and you can set up a table. It's cash in hand, same day. What about considering delivery gigs? Companies like Amazon, Flex, Walmart, Instacart, or even Shein. A lot of women order from Shein because the clothing is a lot more affordable. And they use drivers, like people use their personal car to deliver. A lot of my neighbors order from Shein. So you can set up being a delivery partner and see if they're hiring in your area. They have flexible hours and it's fast pay. What about tutoring or teaching online? If you have a skill, math, reading, English as a second language, you can earn money teaching from home, and there are different platforms out there that are available for you to be able to teach online. You can do pet sitting or dog walking. Now, I have talked about pet sitting before, but dog walking, there are people, they make pretty good money walking dogs. People are busy. They don't have time to walk their dog. So you can walk several dogs at the same time. Sites like Rover make it easy to find clients, and it's often great for people with flexible schedules. Think about house cleaning or organizing services. Some people have started house cleaning businesses, and if you're not interested in cleaning houses, what about organizing? Sometimes people need someone to just help them get their home organized, and not just a home. You can really get better contracts if you are working for someone who has a business, like an office space or a warehouse space, and you can go in there and organize that or help clean that. That's a low barrier way to start locally. You can post it in Facebook groups or on Nextdoor. You can rent out storage space. So if you have a garage or a basement or even a room that you no longer use, it's just sitting there, just collecting things, you can use this to rent out space. So you can advertise this on different platforms. You can even check Facebook Marketplace to see how you can rent out storage spaces. Just research it online. You can also do freelance gigs. You can do administrative work. You can do writing. You can do customer service tasks that can be done on sites like Fiverr or Upwork, or you can even just work from home. One of my neighbors works 2 jobs from home so that she could be more flexible for her kids. And so one of them is customer service online and the other is data entry. Finally, you can do seasonal or part-time retail work. With many stores and companies hiring flexible workers, this can be a reliable short-term income stream. One of my friends is a healthcare professional. She works remotely from home for a hospital, taking care of billing and coding. But in addition to that, she does some seasonal work in a retail store. She's very busy during the holiday season, and then she works part-time just throughout the year just to come in up with some extra money, and she does a lot of travel, so she uses it to be able to enjoy traveling. The key in this challenging economy is to diversify your income. Don't just depend on one paycheck. Even a small side hustle, it can be the bridge that just carries you through the tough times. I know this economy is hard. Prices are up. Hours are down, income is down, or it's just not changing. And many of us feel like we're barely treading water. But please remember, you're not alone. I had to fight discouragement and depression when my shifts got canceled, but I pressed forward. I'm showing back up here. And you can too. It is still possible to become financially stable even during uncertain times. Remember, I've said this before, wealthy people become even wealthier during these uncertain times. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one quick low barrier way you found to earn extra money? Share it in the comments below. Your idea might be the very thing another woman needs to hear today. And if this video gave you hope or some useful ideas, please hit the like button, subscribe, and definitely share it with someone who needs encouragement right now. Thanks for watching, and remember, financial freedom isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Every step forward counts. Keep going, keep praying, keep pressing, keep building, and I will see you in the next video.